Hello there. So you're a new service unit organizer, or SUO. Well, welcome aboard. My name is Nicole, and I serve as the coordinator of volunteer learning and development, which is part of the volunteer services and support team here at Girl Scouts of Northeast Ohio. I started my adult Girl Scout journey in 2013 as a troop leader so that my daughter could enjoy the Girl Scout experience. I quickly became addicted to the fulfilling feeling that volunteering for Girl Scouts provide. I took as many trainings as I could, learned to facilitate programs for girls in the Star Lab and on the zip line, and I even became an adult learning facilitator. I enjoyed my volunteer time so much that I joined the staff in 2018 to continue the training tradition for our volunteers in our council. Since joining the staff team here, I've worked hard to ensure that our volunteers have as much opportunity to train and have their questions answered as possible. I coordinate the adult learning experience held every August with an amazing group of trainer volunteers and facilitators at the helm. I manage the adult learning and development schedule, assist with the NOOK and VTK trainings, supervise our amazing camp coaches, who you will no doubt see out and about on camp property during your troop stay, and help service unit organizers get acclimated to their duties and set up trainings for their local units. My goal is to invest in our volunteers, whether troop volunteers or trainers, to make us the most up-to-date, trained, and knowledgeable volunteers in Girl Scouting. I'd like to wholeheartedly welcome you to the role of service unit organizer. This is a very important role as the coach and mentor to other troop level volunteers who have less volunteer experience with our organization than you do. I look forward to meeting you in person. Until then, I hope this orientation is helpful. I am working on additional online courses to make your experience amazing, but please be patient. Bear with me and check back often. A new role can be confusing for anyone, but you are not alone. The short orientation will just touch on the highlights of the SUO role. It's just about 10 minutes long, but I believe it will orient you or give you a little direction and help you get your bearings on how the job fits into the bigger picture of the service team and our council as a whole. So, who would qualify as a service unit organizer? To be honest, any registered background check member could be an organizer for their service unit. However, since the service unit organizer is the one responsible for the organization and setup of the area troops, the training of those adult leaders, and responsible for providing ongoing support for those new troops and their leaders, and must be available to mentor the new leaders through their first year, it's super important that we choose the right volunteer for the role. Service unit organizers need to be a force of nature with their people skills, from being able to identify the leaders within each adult, recognizing what their need is to be involved, then encouraging them to see the benefits of becoming a volunteer within their daughter's troop in whatever capacity, all the while understanding the nature of the community in a way that will enable them to build troops that will gel and work like a community-based family. Service unit organizers must be, well, you got it, organized. They will need to have the ability to objectively plan ahead for what will be needed in their geographical area based on the community's needs and the needs of existing troops. They must juggle the needs of the many and make it work with the willingness of the few. Service unit organizers need to work well with others and be great communicators. Be willing to reach out and check in with those new leaders and prospects to see if they have any questions or need any assistance. Service unit organizers need to be confident in their ability to be an excellent learner so they can really understand what is needed in each troop in their community. Great organizers are self-disciplined. They return phone calls, emails, texts in a timely fashion, keep a good working calendar with reminders for activities and events, and turn in requests for trainings promptly. Finally, an organizer is willing to rise to the challenge of speaking in front of people, whether it be to one new leader or a group of new leaders. You are the coach or the knowledgeable mentor to the new leaders. They will not only be trained by you, but they will look to you often for assistance in that first year. Our service unit organizers love the Girl Scout program, understand and support the business model, and do what they can to keep their service unit trained, up to date, and aligned with the council rules and regulations. Your community membership executive is the staff person who oversees the community. The CME, as they are affectionately referred to, will be the staff person that keeps your service unit connected to the latest news from council. In partnership with that CME, the service unit team, led by the service unit director, helps you to create and determine what is needed in your geographic area, and they will set goals. The service unit organizer helps to create the opening in the troops necessary to reach the service unit's membership goals. The service unit organizers are also responsible for setting the schedule and leading welcome to the service unit training for all new leaders in the service unit. They also ensure that the leaders have a coach or mentor, oftentimes themselves, but it could be another senior volunteer in the area, and have the training to feel confident and supported in facilitating the national program portfolio with our girls. The service unit organizers help to promote Girl Scouts within their community where they live. Determining the needs of your service unit in terms of training is your responsibility. Whether it is simply showing them how to log into the VTK, the Volunteer Toolkit, or setting up a user profile on the Girl Scouts of Northeast Ohio Learning and Resources Nook, affectionately referred to as the Nook, all by yourself, or with the help of staff members, you need to provide them, the new leaders in your area, with access through training to the tools to make volunteering easy. That's part of your leadership role on the service unit team. You also have the ability to request local, in your area, training for your service unit. Our volunteer training corps will accommodate whenever possible to train your new leaders. If you feel that you are up to this task and you're up to the challenge of training the new leaders in your community, then let's make it official. The service unit organizer position is an appointed position. That means you're not voted in by the other volunteers in your unit, nor can you self-appoint. Every service unit organizer is typically recommended by the service unit director, then is confirmed by the community membership executive as an appropriate candidate for the position, and finally is appointed by the coordinator of volunteer learning and development. Hey, that's me. Step one is to have a discussion with you and your service unit director, if you have not already done so. If they are in agreement with you that taking on the role of service unit organizer would be a good fit, then proceed to speak with your CME. The CME will talk with you about the role and make sure it's a role that you'd really enjoy and be good at. This is a one-on-one meeting. Sometimes it can be handled at a coffee shop or over lunch. If you have not yet met with your CME, please reach out and schedule this interview as soon as possible. After you meet with the CME, she will reach out to me to make the recommendation. Occasionally, you may hear from me and I may request a one-on-one interview with you. That might not happen all the time. Once approved, I will add you into the system in the service unit organizer role. You will need to then sign a position description and agreement which explains the roles and responsibility of the service unit organizer. It is a 3-year term which allows for stability and continuity in your community. Our hope is that you learn the role in year 1, carry it out with gusto in year 2, and identify and help train your replacement in year 3. Does that mean you have to only do 3 years? No. You can maintain the service unit organizer role for longer than that time if your community needs you. The service unit organizer role is a major role for the entire community. You have the capability of setting up your geographical area for success in Girl Scouts for years to come. Annually, you will be asked to complete an assessment where you give feedback on the role and on the CME. The CME also completes an assessment about you and how they feel you are doing in the role. Then you will meet with the CME to go over the assessment. If you are doing a good job and you wish to continue in the position, then you will be reappointed. You will need to renew your membership and your service unit organizer role at that time. There are 16 CMEs in our department who work tirelessly to support the efforts of the volunteers. They are your advocates and your cheerleaders. Your CME works hard to make sure you feel supported in your role. I am so very excited for you and I look forward to working with you in this new capacity.